Do you remember, I don't know, it's been some time back, that in the preaching, I dealt with buckets.
Yes.
And I said we have different buckets in our life that most people just look at their life as like just one bucket. This is me, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm going through. But really, we have different buckets. We have healing buckets, divine health buckets. We have our economy bucket. We have our peace of mind bucket. We have our sleep bucket. And a lot of times we lose focus on our bucket. I lost focus on a bucket. So I'm gonna tell you so you can learn from my mistake. As you can tell, I got Mr. Froggy voice. And because I live in divine health. It's not an element of I get healed when I get sick. I don't get sick. And the things that have tried to come, I'm not a denier that there's things in this world that'll make you sick. I'm just a denier of its right to operate in me. So this started dealing with me last night and yesterday morning real hard. I felt the symptoms come on probably Friday-ish. And I asked God, because my faith is strong. I cast down thoughts and imaginations. I don't struggle with that. But my body got this gunkitis, whatever it is. And so I was asking God, because anytime something doesn't work, I go back to God and try to figure out, okay, why did it not work? And he showed me, because I got three major things that I'm dealing with right now. That I'm very locked in on prayer. And when this started hitting me, I remember going through the decision process of, well, I don't get sick, that won't happen. Bucket, think of bucket. And I didn't actively stand against it. Now, I got to turn the ship around. Okay, because it got in. So now, it's always harder, it's always easier before something hits you. This is where I've talked about finances. Don't wait till you're going through a financial problem to start believing for finances. Yeah. Believe for it before a problem comes. Don't wait until you're sick to believe God to be healed. But I allowed my faith, because I've got some very pressing things that I got to break through on, and I'm seeking God for. And so I allowed this bucket over here to just kind of rely on yesterday's faith. You know what Hebrews 11:1 says? Now faith. You can't rely on yesterday's faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Romans 10:17 says, faith cometh by hearing. It does not say faith cometh by having heard. You've got to activate faith when something comes. So learn from my mistake. Because I've got pressing issues on me, and I allowed myself to stop pressing in on some things, even when I saw, because I was going to rely on yesterday's faith. The just shall live by. We don't have faith events. Oh, something's happening and I need to get my faith in. We live by faith. And so if we don't, we can easily, in this situation, I can easily, oh my goodness, beat yourself up. Have you ever beat yourself up? My faith just doesn't work. No, my faith would have worked if I had activated my faith. I got lazy on it. It wasn't really from a position of laziness. It was just I had things over here trying to pressure me that I'm battling against. And this seemed like a minor ordeal that I already knew how to handle it. But you got to have now faith. You've got to stand in this. And as the days get darker, I tell you what, if you are not preparing yourself today for the days ahead, when you reach the days ahead, you're going to crumble. Because it is going to take an act of faith, and we've got to deal with things now before we get there. And that's how faith works. So learn from my mistake and tolerate my froggy voice.